Hey guys, how are you? My name is Vincent Cordi. I am 26 years old. I am Jersey bred and Italian fed. Today I'm actually going to be stepping a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and I'm going to be making for you a dish that I've actually never made before. It's a classic French dish. It's duck à l'orange. So I'm going to get my pan preheated. My duck is already pre-seasoned, and I'll tell you a little bit more about me and what food means. Because food to me has always been a huge part of my life and my culture. Growing up in an Italian household, it was part of us. Without fail, every Sunday we would go over grandma's house, and it was that one thing that just brought everybody together. No matter what we were doing, we would check it at the door, and it just brought us together. We would get together and we would gossip and stuff, and we would pass down traditions and customs, and it was the one thing. It was actually there that I learned the power of food, and what I loved about food is it's that one element that transcends culture and is a universal language that anybody can use to communicate. And as a teenager, I'm gonna get this duck in the pan. And as a teenager, I was glued to the Food Network, and that's kind of really where my passion really came from. And kind of seeing the effect that food had on people through my family and stuff like that. I would watch all those shows, and on the Food Network I would watch Food 911 and Barefoot Contessa and not Giada De Laurentiis, Everyday Italian. I would always remember looking over my mom's shoulder when I was younger, and she was kind of one to never really let me cook because she never thought that I cleaned up to her standards. And you obviously know, as you get older, or excuse me, as you're younger, when you're told that you really can't do something, that just ignites that fire, that curiosity in you. So whenever she wasn't home, that's when I would go ahead and I would play with recipes. I would go in my pantry, I would check to see what we had, and I would try and throw something together. That's really kind of where my passion first began. And once I was able to drive, I would drive myself to and from the grocery store and kind of just play around, pick at stuff that I've never seen before, that I've never used, and just play along with it. So this smells amazing, by the way. I wish you guys could be on this end of the camera and kind of smell what I'm smelling. But yeah, no, I am a very competitive person by nature. Growing up as a sibling of 3, there was always a sense of competition in the household between my brother and my sister. I always strived for perfection, and I always wanted to be the best. That was just me. Even when I play sports for fun with friends, if we're at the beach and we're playing beach volleyball, I hate to be on the losing end of the team. I hate losing. I probably took it a little bit more seriously than I should have, but that's just me. I don't like to lose. But yeah, no, I'm great in the kitchen. I'm amazing in the kitchen, actually. I think I'm one of the best and most diverse home cooks out there. I am Italian by blood. I can slit my wrists and squeeze marinara sauce over pasta and meatballs. Italian cuisine is obviously my forte, but I can cook so many different types. I can cook Mediterranean, I can cook Thai, I make a great Indian chicken curry, American cuisine, barbecue and Caribbean flavors I love. I'm also an amazing baker, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm pretty much as close to a 10 as you can possibly get. I'm going to go ahead and check on this stuff because it looks like it's getting nice and brown for me on the skin side. A little bit more, let the fat render out a little bit. And cooking, like I said, has really always been a huge part of my life and culture. And it always will be. I find cooking to be very therapeutic and stress relieving. So even after a long day at work, coming home and just diving into my kitchen is a way for me to de-stress and relax. Most people do that by, you know, just vegging out on the couch, and that's their form of relaxing. Mine is coming into the kitchen and creating something that I've never created and just playing around with what's in my fridge, or my pantry that day. Let me go ahead and give this a flip. And I got a nice beautiful brown color on that. And yeah, so I, you know, would come home after a stressful week and just get cooking, whether it be baking a cake or a cupcake, and doing that. I would then, you know, take it to the couch to relax. But the kitchen is really my zen, my therapy station, you know. So, but usually, typically, who I'm cooking for is my blog. I have a food blog. It's Kitchen Flames by Vincent James. Me. So I'm usually cooking for that. I'm usually in the kitchen working up some, you know, content to throw up on my blog. I try to update it about twice a week. Sometimes less, sometimes more than others. I also really love to entertain and show off my cooking, and show off my skills. I like to brag and boast to my friends. I like to be able to have them come over and get restaurant quality dishes without having to go to the restaurant. They're always so impressed with the dishes that I make, and especially with the way that I plate. And food is just such an experience. It's such a social experience that you can really bond with anybody over food, and that's what I love. I'm actually very well known through West Hollywood for throwing my annual anti-Valentine's Day party. It's actually one of the many parties that I throw throughout the year. But this has become an annual thing that I, you know, have singles over that don't really have anything to do on Valentine's Day, and we just get together and have a really good time. You know, complete with really creative names for the dishes, to, you know, inventive cocktails, and the night isn't complete until I read my thematic poem/toast that really gets the evening going. So this looks like it's almost finished. I'm going to go ahead and check this out. I might flip it over to brown a little more on the other side. Let that render out a little bit more, get that crust going. Now, as far as winning the competition, I can't really tell you what winning would even would mean to me. First and foremost, I should say, it'd be validating to know, for myself, and it would be able to show those who doubted me from the beginning that I'm good enough. Like, look where I am, and look what I've become, and to kind of prove to my parents that I don't need to be an attorney, or so they thought, to make them happy and to be successful, and I can really do what I'm passionate about and love it at the same time and be successful. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and take the duck out, let it rest. Get off the heat. But yeah, so back to what winning this competition would mean to me. I mean, not only would it be amazing. Actually, let me get this out of the way. So I have my duck breast here, resting. Have my plating stuff over here. I segmented a couple oranges to go along with the duck a little while ago, and I have some dried apricots that I'm going to chop up for garnish. But getting back to where I was before, and what winning would really mean to me, especially the money aspect. I'm actually homeless at the moment. About 2 months ago, the building that I was living in decided to renovate, and they wanted to, you know, jack up get the apartment and then jack up the rent once they were finished renovating, about $1,200, which is something that I definitely couldn't afford. So I've been hopping around with me and my little puppy for about 2 months, and just going from place to place with friends. I mean, even some nights I've slept in my car, You know, I'm not even afraid to say that. But it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality that I'm living right now. Winning would be incredible. It would allow me to pay off this debt that I've accumulated, and it would allow me to find a new home for me and my puppy. So I'm gonna get to plating. I'm gonna go ahead and just chop some of these for my garnish. Let me just... And what I like about the dried apricots is that it gives another element to the citrus that we have going in this dish. It's a more mild form of orange that I really like, and I like the sweetness that it adds. So I'm gonna go and swap this out. Put that over here. And over here I just have a sauce that I had made earlier. It's just oranges, a little bit of Grand Marnier, because I wanted to kick it up a few notches. And to me, any dish really isn't complete until you throw a little alcohol into the mix. And here I have some of the pan drippings from the duck that we had rendered earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and design the plate. So let's go. Spoon a little bit of this here. I'm going to go ahead and take my duck and rest that right over like so. I'm going to take a couple of my segmented oranges, place them strategically like this, fan out nice. And this is kind of like my favorite part about cooking, because it really allows me to express my creativity. When I plate, I like to obviously be very fun and fashion forward and avant-garde and give a really modern look to the plate. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit. And then I'm going to spoon some of, or I'll just pour this delicious bacon drippings over the top of the duck, and then finish it up with some of the dried apricots, and we'll just give them a nice toss there into the sauce. And there you have it. Duck à l'orange à la Vinny. So that's me. That's my plate. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you choose me for the show. Thank you.